Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we ask ourselves the perennial question, should old acquaintance be forgotten, never brought to mind, as we sit down to watch the final game of 2023 between Kasva, playing as the Teutons in blue, and the Viper, playing as the Aztecs in yellow. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings with the goats, with scouts, with anything available to them, and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Teutons, very much a brawler civilization designed to take a beating. All their barracks and stable units get free extra melee armor in Castle and Imperial. Their siege units can be upgraded to get a +4 melee armor boost. Their towers have extra space for more units to garrison inside. And by the way, same applies to their town centers. Take a look. 25 garrison space compared to the usual generic 15, which does allow their towers and their town centers to fire more arrows. Now, the Teutons also get murder holes and herbal medicine for free, so their units can heal super quickly in castles as they're protected against melee units. And those same Teutonic castles can be upgraded to get extra range and fire extra arrows when garrisoned by infantry, which in Age of Empires is a pretty big deal, since usually only villagers and archer units garrisoned inside a castle add extra arrows to that castle. Now, on the battlefield, all Teutonic units have a higher resistance to conversion, and if they're hurt, they can be healed by monks from twice the distance, which is fantastic news for their unique unit, the Teutonic Knight, an incredibly powerful, heavily armored infantry unit, but one that moves ridiculously slow. Now, to support a big, hungry, militaristic population, Teutonic farms do come in 40% cheaper than generic farms. A rhino gets pulled. I believe this is the first rhino, second one as we saw up to the north of Kasva's base. Let's take a look at the Viper, the Aztecs, a warrior monk civilization. Their monks gain 5 hit points for every tech that's researched. So a fully upgraded Aztec monk comes with a massive 100 HP compared to the usual 30 or 45, as this gentleman with the large Peter Luger stakes on his backs lures a rhino the second for the Viper. Now, to help with the gold cost of upgrading your monks and getting all those techs, getting those monks up to 100 HP, which is pretty darn expensive, every time the Aztecs collect a relic, they do generate 33% more gold. Now, to support their monks on the battlefield, all Aztec military units are trained 11% faster. Their skirmishers can be upgraded to get an extra range and attack boost, and their infantry can be upgraded to get a massive +4 attack, which does help out with their unique unit, the Jaguar Warrior, a middle-of-the-road infantry unit that comes with a pretty good attack bonus, +10, +11 against other infantry. Now, to support their military-industrial complex, Aztec villagers do carry 3 extra resources right from the very beginning of the game. And if you take a look at the top right of your screen, you'll notice that the Viper started with 150 gold instead of the usual 100, because the Aztecs basically get either loom for free, or they can train 2 extra militiamen to harass their opponent right at the very start of the game, although without a barracks on the map, not exactly something that we're going to see as the Viper now pushes this ostrich, although maybe has forgotten about it. Never mind. Gets right back to the pushing, does the Viper. Both players at 17 villagers apiece. Let's take a look at their bases starting positions, see if anyone is particularly advantaged or not. Primary gold in a what we all basically drew when we were in grade 5 on every piece of paper we possibly could find, right in the very forward position, nestled in between in this warm bosom of 2 hills here. Not a fantastic location, especially since it's very forward, but his primary stone and then additional gold, nice and secure in the back. Additional gold. Oh, this is absolutely ugly. I guess you could put a mining camp here, but what an absolute ugly, not only very, very forward, but also annoyingly placed right at the pinnacle of a hill. Yikes. 2 forests to the right, 1 forest to the left, a little bit of extra forest to the back. Not a terrible base to wall off the flanks on the right side and the left, but the forward position of the Viper's base, his settlement, completely open. Let's take a look at our Teuton as the players basically going up at the exact same time. Our Teuton with, it looks like about a 1 or 2 second advantage. His primary gold nice and secure to the side/rear of his base. His primary stone as well, although also annoyingly placed on a hill. I wonder if you can put a mining camp right here. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3 tiles in a bit of a L or R shape, depending which side, where you tilt your head. Additional gold to the front, additional stone to the front, additional gold to the back. Oh, I thought for a second I saw a relic, but no, I think it was just the bar of the viewer rectangle here on the minimap. And let's take a look at his forests. One to the front, one and two to the side. So a bit more of a triangle shape and not so much an isosceles triangle as here. I've been saying that a lot, isosceles. I don't even know if I'm using that correctly. It's been a long ass time since I studied shapes and stuff. Very hard base to wall off. This is not an easy base. So what he has in terms of advantage with the location of the gold, I think Kasva's base here is going to be much harder to wall off. The forward position, luckily for him, does have one forest, but the flanks, the left, the right is a little bit easier. Where do you wall off? Here, here, here. I'm not too sure where you even start walling this off, but in any event, let's see if the players have discovered each other's bases. Kasva has done a loop-de-loop around the Viper's base. The Viper has discovered just the tip of the Teutonic base, and then immediately, I believe, retreated with his eagle, and now has trained a few more eagles. Okay. We saw the Viper recently as the Incas going eagles against Hera, at least initially. Let's see what he decides to do here against the Teutons, as this little band of infantry very, very slowly runs forward, and Kasva is going to show the Viper, hey, I know you're coming. I know you can see my scouts. Ooh, Kasva's trying to wall this off. Let's take a look at the Viper's vision. Will he get it? Of course he does. But this one archer here is going to ensure that this villager cannot repair any of this, but she doesn't have to. She plops down a secondary wall off here. Where are Kasva's scouts going? They're going up to the north. Remember, the extra melee armor on any unit that comes out of this structure or this structure, that starts in Castle Age. So they get a +1 melee boost and then another +1 melee boost in Imperial. But we are very much firmly ensconced in Feudal Age. And it looks like Kasva is trying to rear end this Aztec base as more Aztec units are coming. 2 archers and another Eagle Scout. And let's see what the Viper can do here. Any upgrades on the archers? No. So they have 4 range, which should be enough to shoo away these villagers. Oh no, oh no, the first kill of the game going to our Aztec, who guns down 1 villager, possibly 2. I'll see some action in the back of the Aztec base, and it looks like Kasva gotten his first kill as well. We'll take a look in a second. I just want to make sure to see what happens to this villager. Oh my god, threading the eye of the needle she does as she backs away here. And a villager as well. So both players have killed a villager of the other. It looks like, I believe, a spearman behind here, given the long pokey stick I see. Kasva guns him down as well. So kill lead now going to our Teuton. That being said, he's about to be penetrated here to the front, although actually maybe not. 280 HP is still a long way away. And now an extra spearman here for our Aztec does come out. The villagers get together. 4 of them. Which reminds me of the plot of the Murder on the Orient Express. If you haven't read the book, I guess you could see the movie, or the movies plural. What do you guys think of all the remakes of the Agatha Christie books? I'm not a huge fan. Their casts are always so full of stars. There's the one with Vienna now. There was the Murder on the Orient. I think there was a Death on the Nile as well. I'm more of a fan of her books. And Then There Were None is one of my favorite top 10 favorite books of all time. It is just an absolute epic mystery. Very short, so highly recommend. But those villagers ganging up and killing the scout reminds me of the plot of the Murder on the Orient, where it's basically everyone. I'm not even going to say spoiler alert. When was the book written? Like 70 years ago. If you haven't read it, get your ass to a library, download it, send it to your e-reader or whatever, and introduce yourself to the wonderful writing of Agatha Christie. But in any event, you didn't come here to hear my literary advice. You came here to watch eagles crush into the back. Actually, I should say the front of the Teutons base in our Teuton. I guess forgot that he's got a little bit of a opening here, believing perhaps that these skirmishers and scouts are enough. But 2 of these scouts are very badly injured. Kill lead still firmly in favor of our Teuton by about 1 unit, 2 villagers to 1. Let's see how much the Viper can push into here. I mean, I'm assuming there's a reason Kasva left this open. Again, I'm assuming he thinks he can hold this. 3 Hail Scouts are moving forward. These Eagles do not come with any kind of attack bonuses at the moment. I should say, except for Monk, of course. once we hit Castle Age, even I think the Eagle Scouts do get a small attack bonus, +3 against cavalry. So Kasva will have to be a little bit careful. That being said, we're nowhere close to Castle Age. We're 17 minutes into the game. Both players have no resources. Less than 100 wood, less than 100 food, less than 100 gold for the Viper, less than 100 food, less than 100 gold, and just a little bit more stone. Actually, no, sorry, what am I? A little bit more wood, not stone. For our Teuton, who does manage to pick off an archer. Where are these skirmishers going? Ooh, the archers move into the dead zone, the 1 minimum range of the skirmishers, but the skirmishers pivot. Oh, man. The Viper's army ranged is getting destroyed. The Viper's army melee is absolutely crushing it at the moment. He has armor upgrades on these eagles, so they should be able to take a good fight, I guess, with reinforcement. Oh, that defender's advantage. All of a sudden, the Viper's forces need to get the hell out of here. 4 kills on these eagles. He's trying to penetrate again to the top left. What is happening to the top right? I mean, the Viper choosing yellow. I'm always torn. There's always, the comments are like 50-50. Half of the people watching who comment about the colors of the players say I should change the colors to make it more appealing, to take into account things like color blindness, etc. And then the other half are never ever change the colors that the players choose, and I always kind of land on that half. There's a reason these players choose these colors, and ultimately, if you ain't happy with the colors, I suggest you call the Viper. Pick up a phone, call your congressman, call... what is... oh my goodness, the Viper's first name just completely escaped my mind. I was going to say call him and complain about the colors that he chooses. And leave your poor casters alone. Maybe I'll make a video where I have a bed sheet over my head. If you understand that reference of the Leave Britney Alone viral video, then welcome to the age where you have back problems and your teeth for some reason always hurt. Oh man, I really went down a real rabbit tangent hole here. What the hell is this? Okay, so Kasva wants to hit Castle Age. I mean, he's going to hit it about a minute and a half after the Viper, but he wants to hit Castle Age, a wealthy man. Holy shit, 15 villagers on gold here. The Viper, though, has been repelled. Has not managed to penetrate the ooey gooey center of the Teutonic base. It is safe to the right. Even though this house is on fire, the palisade behind it's on fire, the Viper has pivoted this way, and it has been saved to the left. The presence of this one Teutonic tower, which again can garrison 10 units, versus the usual 5, is enough to shoo away our Aztec. Let's see if I was right about the Eagle Scouts coming. Yeah, even... okay, their cavalry is +2, but in a little while... wait a second. I thought I saw the Eagle Warrior upgrade being researched for the Viper. I guess he canceled it, deciding to go with Squires, choosing speed over punch. I believe that attack bonus against cavalry will jump up once they get upgraded to Eagle Warriors. Now the Viper here is to the left. The Viper is here to the northeast. And a lot of the gold miners have been repurposed to be lumberjacks now. The Viper doesn't notice that this is open, and so he's attacking a house for no real reason. Okay, now he realizes it's open. Brings a few friends along. Uh-oh. Well, there's that Eagle Warrior upgrade. Good decision to go for speed. He catches a few of these villagers on the retreat. And now Kasva is in Castle Age as well. Scores basically identical. This is a huge mess of Teutonic villagers. What the hell just happened there? Did Kasva click the wrong button? Synchronized attacks. The best thing in Age of Empires. The house falls. Let's take a look at the attack bonus. Was I right about 3 against cavalry? Yes, I was. Kasva catching some reinforcements here, although he himself is the one who ultimately bites the dust. And now Teutonic Knights are out. Interestingly enough, both of these civilizations have pretty good counter-infantry units. Infantry counter-infantry units. And interestingly enough, both of those infantry counter-infantry units come out of a castle. I mean, the Teutonic Knight, with its insane amount of armor and power, just counters basically everything. And the Jaguar Warrior, with its +10 and then +11 when its elite attack against infantry, counters infantry pretty damn well. The Knights take a pretty good fight here. I'm assuming this Knight has very little HP. Very little is the understatement of the year. Luckily, the year's almost over. 1 HP. The Eagle's chasing in. Oh my god, this is hilarious. Where's this Knight gonna go? There's Eagles everywhere. The Viper's non-stop Eagle pushing. +1/+1 attack and armor. Now we're in castle, so the Knights come with an extra +1 melee, which is gonna help out a little bit. Eagles are just such a versatile unit. He needs to start adding in some infantry, does our Teuton. At this point, infantry will come with a pretty good attack bonus against Eagles, at which point I think the Viper will probably stop training Eagles. But no, he's going Knights. He is going full on Knights. Our Aztec has 3 monks out already. 1 relic gathered. A very slow yellow dot on the minimap tells me a second relic is going to be added to the stockpile any minute now. The Viper hasn't seen the relic right near his base. He hasn't seen the one that's further away, and he hasn't seen the one to the left of Kasva's base. Kasva hasn't seen any of the relics. Okay. So we're going to be on 2 relics to none for a while, as the Viper gets more and more upgrades for his monks. In 15 seconds, once Sanctity is researched, take a look at the HP jump, as Kasva now slams into the side. 50 from 30. 5 from the extra feature of the civilization, and then 15 from Sanctity, of course. Kasva tries to bust in, but there is a counter unit. It looks like somebody died here. I see a pool of blood. I don't think it was a Knight. I think it might have been an Aztec unit. Is this closed? This is not closed. No, it is closed. There is, oh man, with 1 palisade. Monk versus monks. Let's see it. He shoos away the entire Aztec force. I don't know where the hell these 3 Knights think they're going. They are heading straight for the monks. And that's what the extra HP allows you to do. It allows you to convert a unit when any other civilization, I shouldn't say any other, most other civilizations would have perished. Both monks would have died much quicker than that. Although Teuton's missing husbandry is always fun. It's always, like I said, this is like a brawler civilization. It's not a light on your feet civilization. This is like a 1930s alleyway boxing, you know, a bunch of dudes with broken noses and like sailor tattoos. That's what the Teutons are. They can just take a punch to the face, extra armor and whatnot. But they are not light on their feet. 1 kill on these 7 units. 1 kill on these 15 units. Pikemen being added into the mix here. Okay, our Teuton's gonna have to he's doubling down on Knights. 14 Knights. He's gonna have to pivot at some point. But he pivots right to the Viper's base. Oh, the villager. What the hell was that? The villager was attacking the Knight. And another conversion here for our Aztec. Okay, now he sees the pikeman. He knows he's got to get the hell out of here. And he knows he's got to do something back home to defend against a pike push, because you cannot just go the Viper and his quick walls. Yeah, I don't think you can just go full on Knights. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I clicked away. I wasn't sure if I should. Oh my god, that's hilarious. He corrals these 2 wild Teutonic horses and eviscerates them. At the same time, though, the Aztecs' entire expeditionary force has just been gutted. Is the plan for our Teuton to go heavy cavalry? Because if so, that might be problematic for our Aztec, but he's got a while to go. He's got no gold. Not exactly Schlachter privileged Polish knights here. These are full price Teutonic knights. And more pikemen are heading over. 0 kills. Where are the ones with all the kills? Must be these guys. Yeah, 6 kills for you. Villager kills 4 to 5. Total kills are Teuton. Oh man, 26 kills ahead of his opponent. Those knights just giving him such longevity. 17 kills on this band of baker's dozen. But again, I ask, how does he plan on overwhelming Aztec pikes, which are trained faster? Eagles to the top right, pikemen to the top left, pikemen to the right bottom left. Oh no, he left this open. Okay, well, pikemen are not really going to do much damage. I'm just going to zoom out here because I don't know what the hell's going on. To the north, the Viper's trying to bust into the base. To the south, he's trying to chase down villagers. I was going to say these aren't really Woot's steel infantry ignoring armor, but even still, he does manage to kill a villager, which is surprising to me. The Viper's going to take this, but at what cost? Let's see if he loses any of his knights. No, he doesn't. He's got to make use of that Teutonic healing from 8 tiles away compared to the usual 4. The Viper busts in. Looks like he got a villager. More and more pikemen are being streamed in here. A few eagles chasing away the entirety of the Teutonic force. Although I think our Teuton realizes what's what and then just sends one. Not too sure one is going to do very well against all of those eagles. Conversion on the Aztec pikeman gives Kasva his first non-cavalry unit of the last 15 minutes. Another conversion attempted here. Gets it, does our Teuton. Okay, so a 4-unit swing just like that. It looks like our Teuton also cleaned up. By the way, was... Okay, no, never mind. I was going to ask, was this one knight enough to take care of all those eagle warriors? But no, it looks like he sent some reinforcements or a reinforcing unit. Where are you guys going? 23 kills. Maybe I'm being too negative about Kasva's love of the knight in this game, because he's getting a lot of use out of these knights, a lot of longevity. He just needs to heal them up. He's got 4 monks. Where are they? They are over here. Are they healing this pikeman? No. No, he's just not being attacked. Okay. I mean, why are these monks not healing the pikeman? Oh no, our Teuton is back. The Viper this time a little bit too slow to wall off? Question mark. It looks like he walled off to the north. But these knights are going to have an absolute field day. 18 of them. Oh, goodness gracious. What are you guys attacking? The archery range? Okay. Useless or most useless target of attack at the moment, that archery range. 4 relics. It's going to be 5 relics to 0. I am very curious to see what an Aztec player with 33% more gold from relics loses. Another knight does our Teuton. Very curious to see what the Viper's relic gold count is going to be at the end of this game with all 5 relics, 33% more gold. Our Teuton's doing a good job converting these units. He's got 2 eagle warriors of his own. Not something you see every day. And now the Aztec force gets shooed away. And look at Kasva, the balls on this army, thinking they can chase into this. I'm not too sure about this. I'm not too sure about this at all. You're fighting against 2 units that come with bonuses. The eagles are going, I'm assuming, to try to snipe the monks. Oh, I hate zooming out so much. I hate zooming out so much. He gets 1 monk here to the bottom, but look at this pile of dead knighthood. Oh my god. Kasva a little antsy in the pantsy to get the fight going, and he's also losing his knights back here at the rear end of the Viper's base. Even if he takes this fight, what an absolute disaster militarily for our Teuton. He loses almost his entire army. Now, luckily, he's got 2 eagle warriors. It looks like he just managed to convert it right before another monk paid the price. Army count 12 to 36. A lot of infantry is moving forward from our Aztec. Hey, you know, if you find yourselves a good thing, double down on it, says the Viper. He's getting devotion as well. About time, making his units a little bit harder to convert. Looks like Kasva's forces to the back of the Viper's base have been cleared up. The Viper is now here. What does his army look like? 22 pikemen, 2 monks, a knight, and an eagle. Where is this knight? He's kind of moving around here. Oh my god, is the knight gonna get the eagle? Oh, that's hilarious. That would be the ultimate insult to injury. A converted knight manages to kill a converted eagle. That would just be poetic. That would just be epic. He reconverts the knight, but then it dies. Aztec monk with 60 HP can absolutely take a pounding from that knight. That knight dies in the attempt. More infantry streaming into the forward position of Kasva's base. And look at the minimap. There's just a small trickle of yellow everywhere. And these knights, their numbers are falling. He's only got 5 left. Kasva, he has the villager count, but oh no. Okay, so I was right about doubling down on knights. Why did he not get any kind of infantry? Why did he not try to get a castle up? He's up to 450 stone just by the stone, if you're pressed this hard, if your entire army just absolutely melted. I mean, Kasva looked like he had a firm grip on this game until he took a few shitty engagements. Number 1, number 2, and now number 3. A trifecta of utter dog shit engagements here. And these Eagles, what are the upgrades on them? So wisely going armor upgrades was the Viper, because again, these guys, just like the pikemen, are relying more on their bonuses. I mean, plus 22 against cavalry, as we saw, plus 3 against cavalry. So what's an extra plus 1 attack when it's really the bonus damage that matters here? But look at this never-ending stream of yellow infantry. A few here to the back as well. This one tower trying to hold the line, probably will not, as we see, because Kasva GG'd. But wow, just 3 really bad engagements for our Teuton, and bye-bye go the knights. Goodbye knight count. And could he have survived? I don't know. Both players are, their economies are not, let's say, huge. Our Teuton is sitting on 2 town centers. By the way, a full town center as this is, I mean, ignoring the monks, he probably should, let's say in theory he got rid of the monks and put all of the villagers. Oh my god, I don't know sometimes why my brain doesn't speak English. Had he evicted in theory these 2 monks and plopped in as many villagers as possible, crammed in as many villagers as possible, it would add 5 arrows to this town center. And that could have potentially been used to snipe monks, potentially been used to snipe pikemen. And ultimately, now there's a car alarm going off in my parking lot. But after those absolute terrible engagements, our Teuton just doesn't have any more military. He's got a good amount of gold to train more. But how many stables are we working with? Okay, 4 stables is not terrible. By the way, where's the 4th? Oh my god, it's being converted. Or at least being targeted for conversion by what monk? Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, here he is. Of course, right underneath my very nose. This one monk is here, and let's take a look at the stats. That was a fun game. For a while, I doubted whether Kasva should have gone full balls to the wall knights. Again, throw down a castle, and you're pretty much safe from all of this aggression. Gives you a little bit of breathing room. And FYI, you are ahead 16 villagers, literally a 30% bigger economy at the moment. And then if your opponent doubles down on knights, on infantry rather, hey, guess what? Plop out push out a few of those juicy Teutonic knights. 65 knights, 116 pikemen. Surprised the pike took that number and not the eagles. PKPM for Kasva right at the end. No surprise there. He was microing his heart out. PKPM for the Viper earlier on in the game, probably when there were a few side swipes attempted. The economy about 15 to 20% bigger for our Aztec. Well, there you go. There's that carrying bonus. Unless, you know what, let's ignore the relic gold, which, by the way, in such a short game is 2,000 gold. That is a lot of gold. Imagine this game continued for another 10 to 15 minutes. That would have probably been like 5,000 or 6,000 extra gold. Although I don't know exactly if that number is correct, but artistic license and whatnot. A lot more wood. Oh man, 4,000 more gold. Half of that lead is in the relic, but 2,000 more gold. Mine, a little bit less food, no stone for our Aztec. So he had no interest in castle dropping. He had no interest in defending back home. Why would he? He's got pikemen to counter the knights, and he just wanted all his villagers literally as efficiently as possible. 0 villagers on stone to the, what are we working with here? 6 villagers that our Teuton has, but ultimately with the failure to plop down a castle, the failure to get any kind of counter unit initially to the eagle, and then to the pike. I mean, you can counter pike. There's about a billion ways in this game to counter pikemen, even though the numbers, I mean, 19 pikemen here. Ultimately, though, I don't really think it was anything other than bad engagements. I mean, these army compositions are not terrible. Our Teuton at one point had 4 monks. Now he's got 2. Remember, the monks can heal from 8 tiles away. So if a monk is standing here in the corner of this town center, he could probably heal. Maybe, actually, yeah, right? Because these are 3x3. So 3, 6, 6. Maybe not these ones, but definitely the ones at the edge here. That's the distance that a Teutonic monk can heal units. 8 frickin' tiles away. And so I don't think it was army composition per se. And then those knights could have retreated to the town center, which again, firing 5 extra arrows would have gutted these pikemen. I think it was just the bad engagements. The absolute terrible, terrible loss of nightlife. And ultimately, with that loss of those knights, Kasva taps out. It is the Viper who, with the never-ending stream of infantry and the army 6 times bigger than his opponent, who takes the W with, by the way, 80 fewer kills. Our Teuton on the defense of the entire game, with the exception of 2 or 3 times when he tried to bust in, including the earlier raid when he got a villager or 2 here with his scouts, was on the defensive. How many kills on the town center? Only 2. Okay. Tower probably 0. 3! Where the hell did these 3 kills come from? Anyway. I know I'm the one casting this game. I should probably have seen those 3 kills, but I was probably focused on silliness like this vulture. But it is the Viper who takes this game with the never-ending stream of infantry, and with that victory, we end 2023 and usher in a new year, hopefully one filled with more exciting games, a lot more electronic bloodshed, and bigger and better and all those good things. So I wish everyone a happy New Year's, a safe New Year's celebration and New Year's morning. Remember to, if you're going to be hammered, at least put something in your belly first to soak up a bit of that alcohol. And if you're going to go a more different kind of imbibing route, then yeah, just do it all safely so that you're back here tomorrow. And anyway, have a fantastic New Year's, everyone. The Viper takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.